Hey, Richard Bryce here, Tennis Hacker. In this video, I want to give you a simple tip slash bit of advice that's going to do one of two things. It's either going to help you to put away more simple balls, forehands, backhands, and those high floating volleys, or it's going to enable you to be much kinder to yourself if you miss those simple shots. Hopefully you find the video helpful. If you do, it'd be awesome if you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel before, it's always greatly appreciated if you could do that as well. Now, when I explain this out loud, it's going to sound extremely obvious, and it is, but yet I see so many players making this mistake. If you think about what people do when they go to play tennis, they generally maybe warm up for a couple of minutes in the service boxes doing some mini tennis. They go to the back of the court, they just hit down the middle for a period of time. Some people maybe work on some cross courts and down the line, maybe spend a little bit of time at the net, generally with your partner hitting the ball as hard as they can at you, trying to impose their manliness, and you're just trying to volley it back down to the middle of the court. And then people get into a match situation, they get a short ball on their forehand, maybe a floaty ball, and they expect to step in and crush it for a winner. Or maybe they are in a good position and then their opponent puts up a high ball and they think they're going to step in and just volley it out of the air and put it away from a winner. And they don't. They make a mistake on those shots. And they get really mad at themselves. And they shouldn't do, because they haven't actually practiced any of the shots that we're talking about here. Most people simply do not practice working on put away shots, because in order to do it, you either need a ball machine, which is what I tend to do a lot of. You need a cooperative practice partner who you can set up specific scenarios, or maybe you get a basket of balls and you can feed each other specific shots, or you need to set up structured drills to make it happen, or you need to work with a coach to feed you opportunities to practice these balls. But you've got to understand that the shots are different. When you're rallying at the back of the court, generally the ball is coming to you at a certain trajectory, you're hitting back through it at a certain trajectory, your swing path is done in a certain way, and balls that are coming at you a little bit harder and flatter are generally much easier to deal with. The floaty balls, the easier balls, so those short forehands that bounce up, it's a completely different flight to the ball. The floating balls that are dropping out of the air to volley, it is a completely different flight to the ball, and the timing is actually much harder on those shots. When the ball's coming this way and I'm trying to swing through it, the timing is much easier than if the ball is dropping and now the ball's dropping and I've still got to try and swing through it. The timing is harder. And then when you add to the fact that you're generally trying to create your own pace on those shots, now it makes the timing even more difficult. So my simple advice that I'm going to give you is, if you want to be able to put more balls away, practice it. Spend time working on those shots in one of the three methods that I've already described: ball machine, cooperative practice partner, or coach. You need to work on the things if you want them to improve. Now, if you don't have the setup that's going to allow for that, then that's where the other bit of advice comes in. Just be nicer to yourself. If you're missing a shot that you never ever practice, try not to get mad at yourself, because realistically, you're not going to be able to hit shots that you've never practiced. That's not how tennis works. That's not how any sports work. So hopefully this makes sense. I wanted to make this video because I see so many players berating themselves and going crazy at themselves on court, and they don't need to be. These seemingly simple shots are some of the hardest shots in tennis. The timing is very difficult, and they're also quite tricky to practice. So hopefully this all makes sense to you and it's been very helpful to you. Before I close out the video, I just want to let you know about an additional resource that I've created for you. It is a masterclass that's going to teach you the process that I've used to relearn to play left-handed and become a 4.5 player. So it's going to teach you about how I break down and structure things within my practice. And it's also going to teach you about the brain-based training that I use to improve my eye-to-hand and eye-to-foot coordination. So I'll place a link up there, and I'll place a link down in the description so you can check that out if you're interested. Okay, I'll catch you next time.